Hello, we are St Rob's design team. We would first like to apologise that we can't actually be there today. We do have exams today and tomorrow, so that has prevented us from getting there. But anyways, I'd like to get on. My name's Connor, this is Josephine, and this is Kate. We were set the task to design a family home for 21st century users, which was going to meet sustainable needs in the future. So I'm going to pass you on to Josephine now, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about that.
Sustainability was a main focus for our group because we wanted a house for life. This meant we wanted a house to be relatively self-sufficient and not as reliant on unsustainable power sources. This was why we researched two popular methods of supplying a house with green energy on a long-term basis for a relatively small cost. By incorporating some of the latest technologies, we have allowed for our design to not only have its own energy supply, but to also save some of the energy expended by the house. Technology like the Pilkington's Insulite class and hermetically sealing the house mean we can easily cut energy bills. Other features of the house include underfloor heating, rainwater collection systems and the use of solar and wind generator power. All these features were used in our design to ensure that our house was usable for life and not only for a few decades. Kate's now going to talk in a bit more detail about how we wanted our house to be for life.
Another aspect we focused on was making our design a house for life. This is because it is a vital characteristic for buyers in the 21st century. As purchasing houses even with mortgages available, it is an incredibly tough thing to do. Furthermore, with an ageing society and a housing crisis, we need a solution. Studying the 16 aims drawn up in 2010 by the Foundation for Lifetime Homes and Neighbourhoods helped us to understand what we needed to consider and also include. Ultimately, we came to the conclusion the best way is to have the walls that can be moved easily on the ground floor, allowing the buyer to meet their needs, but giving them the flexibility in the future as life progresses and requirements change. Another benefit is that they can customise, making it more personal to them, because we all know that when you buy a house, you can always find something you don't quite like with it. As we got into designing it, we found that this could also help widen the market we aim at, as it would allow it to please a wide range of tastes and needs. So whether it is for old age, that dream big kitchen, families growing, kids leaving and work changing, we believe that we've started to meet the needs of future generations. Thank you. Connor's going to now explain more details about our design.
So what is our house going to look like? In a nutshell, something along the lines of this. I am in a minute going to show you what the top floor and the bottom floor is going to look like individually, but for now, this is the house put together. As we can see, there's large windows all around the house. Now, as Josephine and Kate have just said, this is going to be to allow maximum light into the building and cut energy bills. For parents with children who are going to be leaving soon, it's going to be a massive weight off their shoulders because of obviously children using games, consoles, TVs. All the energy bills are going to drop because of all the light that's let in through the windows as well. So it'd be a big positive for them using all these windows. As far as rooms are concerned, there's going to be 5 main rooms in the house, and 2 of these are going to have en-suites. So obviously for parents, there's going to be a large room, a lot of space for them, and there's going to be an en-suite in there, as well as a family bathroom somewhere along the top floor. The second en-suite can be used for visiting relatives on the odd weekends, or even a younger sibling being pushed up to a larger room, which I'm sure they'd be happy about to get their own bathroom instead of sharing with the brothers and sisters. If the other 3 rooms aren't in use for siblings or any other reason, they can be changed into something as simple as a utility room or a child's band's practice room, just for the odd weekend when they want to hang around with their friends. That is the main building put together. So I'm now going to go into a little bit more detail on the top floor. Right, so this is the first floor. You might have seen a good view of it just before on the entire house, but this is the top floor basically. As we can see again, the windows quite large to allow the light in, as I mentioned before, and the bedrooms previously mentioned are there's going to be 5 of them, 2 en-suites. What I do want to point your attention to here is the shape of the rooms. The walls are specifically placed for maximum structure of the building. And we can look here, there's a little room which doesn't have a door or anything, obviously because you couldn't fit. But what it could be used as is a main pipe for the drainage on the top floor. And Josephine mentioned before about the rainwater being collected and used as energy. This could be one of the routes for the drain pipe to be fitted into without it causing much noise, because obviously the wall's going to prevent the noise from escaping. So it's obviously going to be very good for collecting water, which could be used for simple things as flushing the toilet. It's going to save on a lot of money for fresh water. Another main thing we actually considered a lot with the light was this little area here. Now you might not be able to see it very well, but what it is it's a balcony on the top floor, and this massive window, as we look here, is going to let in a lot of light on the top floor just as you're coming up the stairs, and the bottom floor when you're coming into the house. And it's basically the exact same idea of letting in a lot of light as the other big windows around the rest of the house, but this is going to be the main source of light for the house, because it's going to light up the majority of the downstairs and quite a lot of the balcony of the upstairs. And like I said before, it's really based around the structure of the rooms to support the house in a very strong way. And you know, we're pleased with the outcome of the top floor because it is very 21st century based. And I'm now going to go on about the ground floor, which is the main. And now this is the ground floor. This was the main part of the house that we really focused on. We wanted to do something different compared to your normal everyday 21st century house, which has got a kitchen, main living room, maybe even a study. What we decided to do was, with the entrance, we came through and decided the rest of the house should be open plan. Now the idea behind this was when you buy a house nowadays, you really think, oh, I wish that wall was a little bit further back, or I wish, excuse me, that the kitchen was over here instead. This is basically to suit the needs of those kinds of people. So, when somebody actually comes to move into the house, what they can decide is if they want the walls pre-placed, or when they actually move in, they can decide and sit down with the partner or if they're by themselves, where do I actually want the rooms to go? Now, when the walls are going to be placed, they'll be partitioned in, so if they wanted, the walls could be moved. Now, this will not be done on a day-to-day basis where you think, I want to move the kitchen out of the way. What we're talking about is the walls being placed so that when the family members start to leave, like children as they get older, the walls can be knocked down to create bigger rooms, or even smaller rooms if need be. As parents start to get older, grandparents start to get older, and they might actually want to move in with parents. So other rooms could be built around the fact that children are leaving and that grandparents might be coming in. The idea was to actually place sliding wall partitions which could be moved very easily, to create other rooms, which instead of knocking down walls, it could be another alternative. And these partitions would have the electrics already in the wall, so when they're moved, the electrical wires, are going to move with the walls as well as them just being stored underground. Finally, plumbing in this house was key for us. As you can see here, this is where the plumbing's going to be, along with the electric, gas and water. Now on the top slide before, as I showed you, there was a little room that fit around here. This will also lead to that, and that is where the plumbing is going to be. Finally, we really do believe we have designed a modern house for the 21st century for users who really want a unique house that can hopefully be developed in the future, and the idea can be taken even further forward. Now, that is the video presentation over. I'd like to thank you very much on behalf of the rest of us. Is there any questions you'd like to ask about the house?